Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. How are you, my students? I hope that you're happy and healthy and ready for today's lesson in Unit 3, which will be the conversation. But before we do that, let's revise our previous lesson, the grammar lesson. If you remember, we took the adverbs of a degree, which tells us the intensity of the verb or the adjective or maybe another adverb, like to or very, absolutely, just, nearly, hardly, and etc. Then we took the adverbs of degree that they usually come before the main verb that they modify. They come before the main verb. For example, here, I've almost finished packing. So almost comes before finished. Also, they come before the adjective or the adverb they modify. For example, when you say the house is very big, so the adverb here comes before the adjective. He read the map very carefully. Also, we use enough. When enough is used as an adverb of degree, it's placed after the adjective. For example, when you say the sound is not loud enough, we put enough after the adjective. Then we took the sentence adverbs. Sentence adverbs modify an entire sentence or a whole clause within a sentence. They indicate the attitude of the speaker. So the sentence of adverbs are related to the speaker and his attitude. Some common sentence adverbs here: actually, certainly, honestly, clearly, evidently, presumably, etc. Also, the sentence adverbs here, some sentences usually go at the beginning of the sentence: frankly, honestly, etc. Sometimes you use it in the beginning of the sentence. When you say, honestly, I'm very disappointed. Other sentence adverbs can go after the verb be, before simple tense of other verbs, or after an auxiliary verb in a compound verb. You are obviously having a good time. He is certainly spent. The flight has undoubtedly left by now. So let's jump to today's lesson, the conversation. These are the objectives for today. We use the new words in a conversation. Use the new words in a conversation. So we'll be learning new words in the conversation and how we use them. We use the real talk phrases in new sentences. Of course, we'll be learning the real talk here. Make special requests, decline special requests. So we will know how to make a request and decline a request. So what do you do when you board a plane? Of course, you can see here the pictures. You can know, as I said before, the theme of this unit is traveling, vacation, hotels, all related to traveling. So what do you see here in these pictures? Yes, the first picture here, you see a plane flying in the sky. Of course, we all love to go on a plane. Some people are scared of going in a plane. And the second picture here are the seats of the plane. You can see the windows here. Also, you can see the aisle. The aisle is the pathway between the chairs. We call it the aisle. So what do you do when you board a plane? Do you have to sit in your assigned seat? Where do you like to sit, by a window or the aisle? So let's take the first one. What do you do when you board the plane? Once you board the plane, what do you do? Yes, of course. First, the flight attendant will see your ticket and he or she will show you to your seat. Then you put your bag in the luggage area above your seat. Then, of course, you will sit in your assigned seat, the seat that is mentioned in your boarding pass. Do you have to sit in your assigned seat? Do you have to sit in your assigned seat, or you can just sit anywhere? So, of course, you have to sit in the seat that you have booked previously, the seat that was assigned to you. So do you have to sit in your assigned seat? Yes, of course. Where do you like to sit, by a window or on the aisle? Where do you like to sit, by a window or the aisle? Of course, this is a matter of preferences. Some people prefer the window. Some people prefer the aisle, so they can stretch their feet. For me personally, of course, I prefer the window so that when we take off, or even when we are in the sky, I can open the window and enjoy the view outside. Like the view here, you can see the clouds. That's why I prefer the window, mostly because of the view. So here's a conversation here between the attendant and the passenger. And remember to close your books. Close your book now and listen, because we will be later listening again while you're reading along opening your books. So let's hear now the conversation between the flight attendant and the passenger. Let's listen.
Flight C458 is ready for takeoff. Please ensure your seatbelts are fastened and your seats are in the upright position.
Excuse me.
Yes? Can I get something for you?
No, but I wonder if I can ask you a question.
Certainly.
I see that there is an empty row near the front of the plane. I was wondering if it would be possible to change seats. I usually try to get some sleep during red-eye flights, and it would be much easier if I could spread out.
Unfortunately, that won't be possible. It's against our policy for passengers to leave their assigned seats on this airline.
Well, that's a crummy policy. I don't get it. Other airlines allow it. Why should passengers be crammed together when there are open seats on the flights?
Please try to understand. The problem is that if we gave you the seat, it wouldn't be fair to other passengers who might also want the open seat.
That's a drag, especially since I requested a window seat at the front of the plane, and they put me on the aisle, near the back.
Could I see your ticket, please?
Sure, why?
Sir, the empty window seat at the front of the plane is your seat. Your seat is number 3, not 33.
Oh, awesome.
So can you tell what happened here? Can you summarize the story between the passenger and the flight attendant? Yes, he called the flight attendant and told her that he wanted to change his seat. He wants to sit in a window seat. So he said, "Excuse me, can I go to that empty seat there right next to the window?" She said, "No, you can't change your seats. This is your assigned seat." Then he complained that this is a wrong policy. We should sit wherever the open seats are, etc. Then he said, "Even I booked for a window seat, you gave me an aisle seat." Then she said, "Can you show me your ticket?" Then she figured out that he made a mistake by sitting in the number 33 instead of 3. That this empty seat next to the window was actually his seat. You can see here, your seat is number 3, not 33. So he was happy at the end. He said, "Awesome." Awesome means that you are happy about something. So what's your opinion of the man's request? What is your opinion of the man's request? Regardless of his that he was right or wrong, what is your opinion of his request that he wanted to change his assigned seat? Is it okay if you change your seat that you've already booked or not? Of course, this is your opinion. To me, that you have to sit in the seat that you already booked, or it will be a mess that people will sit wherever they want. So what do you think? What's your opinion of the man's request? I think it's wrong that you have to sit in your assigned seat, unless that the plane took off and you're in the air. Now you can sit in if there's an open seat. But before takeoff, no, that's a mistake. Was it okay to ask for the seat change? Was it okay for the for the ask of the seat change? Was it okay or not? Of course, it wasn't okay. The flight attendant told him that he must sit in his assigned seat. What do you think of the airline's policy? What do you think of the airline policy, the policy that you don't sit wherever you want, you have to sit in your assigned seat. What do you think of this policy? Is it working? Is it good? Is it bad? This is up to you. For me, I think that it's really extremely necessary that you should sit in your assigned seat. Otherwise, it will be a chaos. It will be a mess. People will come and sit wherever they want. Have you seen other examples of airplane passengers having problems with seatings? Have you ever been in a plane and you heard some loud noises? Someone is arguing with the pilot or with the flight attendant that they want to change their seat, or maybe you even yourself that you wanted to change your seat. Have you seen a problem like that before? So if you did see, you should tell the story to your colleagues. So we will listen again now, but for this time, open your books and read along. Open your books, and while you're listening, try to read along. This is a reading practice also. So let's listen.
Flight C458 is ready for takeoff. Please ensure your seatbelts are fastened and your seats are in the upright position.
Excuse me.
Yes? Can I get something for you?
No, but I wonder if I can ask you a question.
Certainly.
I see that there is an empty row near the front of the plane. I was wondering if it would be possible to change seats. I usually try to get some sleep during red-eye flights, and it would be much easier if I could spread out.
Unfortunately, that won't be possible. It's against our policy for passengers to leave their assigned seats on this airline.
Well, that's a crummy policy. I don't get it. Other airlines allow it. Why should passengers be crammed together when there are open seats on the flights?
Please try to understand. The problem is that if we gave you the seat, it wouldn't be fair to other passengers who might also want the open seat.
That's a drag, especially since I requested a window seat at the front of the plane, and they put me on the aisle, near the back.
Could I see your ticket, please?
Sure, why?
Sir, the empty window seat at the front of the plane is your seat. Your seat is number 3, not 33.
Oh, awesome.
So, as we mentioned earlier, that at the end of the story, the man was happy that he was mistaken, number 3 for number 33, while the flight attendant explained it to him. And remember that flight attendant, this term is applied whether the flight attendant is a male or a female. So if it's a man or a woman, both you can call them the flight attendant. So the real talk here, red eye, it means overnight. Red eye, overnight. When he said I don't like red eye flights, it means the flights that are overnight. Crummy, bad. When he said that's a crummy policy, he said that's a crummy policy. It means it's a bad policy. When you don't like something, he said it's crummy. I don't get it. I don't get it. It means that I don't understand. When you don't understand something, someone is trying to explain something to you, you say, I don't get it. I don't understand what you're saying. This a drag, disappointment. When something is described as a drag, disappointment. When you say what a drag, it means what a disappointment. Awesome, terrific. Awesome, terrific. When you say something awesome, it means you're happy about something. Terrific, wonderful. When you say this is awesome, so it's a positive word. It's a word that gives a positive vibes. So here are some questions here. Let's try to answer them regarding some of the real talk words here. The first one, why do you think that overnight flights are called red-eye flights? Why do you think that the flights that are overnight, why do we call them red eye? Is it because your eyes are turning red? Of course not. So why do we call them red eye? Let's check the answer here. Because overnight travelers are usually very tired and have red eyes. Yes, of course, I was correct before. Because once you're tired and very sleepy, your eyes are beginning to turn some reddish, let's say. That's why they call it red eye flights, because of your eyes actually a little bit are turning red because you are tired and sleepy. Are the expressions crummy and drag formal or informal expressions? Are they formal or informal expressions? Are they used in a polite manner, formal, or are they informal, the language you can speak with your friends, your colleagues? So the expressions drag and crummy, are they formal or informal expressions? Of course, they are informal. Crummy especially is not very polite and should be used with care. Especially the word crummy is not very polite, as I mentioned earlier. Crummy especially is not very polite and should be used with care. What doesn't the passenger get when he said, I don't get it? What doesn't he get? What doesn't he understand? Okay, let's check the answer together. He doesn't know why he can't sit in the open seat. He said, I don't get it. There's an open seat there. No one is sitting there. Why can't I go and sit there? He doesn't understand the policy. Why did the airline company put this policy? She said, no, it's against the policy for passengers to change their seats whenever they like. He said, this is a crummy policy. I don't get it. He doesn't know why he can't sit in the open seat. Why does the passenger say awesome at the end of the conversation? Remember, at the end of the conversation, he said, oh, awesome, terrific, now I'm happy, this is wonderful. So why does he say awesome? What was he happy about? Very good. He's happy that he will get the seat he wanted, because actually the seat he wanted was actually his seat, number 3. Again, he's happy that he will get the seat he wanted, which was actually his seat next to the window. So he's like me. We both like window seats rather than aisle seats. So about the conversation, here are the questions about the conversation. What request does the passenger make? How does the flight attendant respond? What reasons does she give? How does the passenger end up getting what he wants? So let's answer the first question. What request does the passenger make from the flight attendant? Of course, he has a request. He asked the flight attendant. So what was the request? Yes, he would like to change seats. He would like to change his seat. Instead of the aisle seat, he wants to go to the window seat, as I said before, which he actually booked. How does the flight attendant respond? What reasons does she give? What was her response? How did she respond? Very good. She says that changing seats won't be possible because it wouldn't be fair to other passengers. It's also against the policy of the airline. She said, sorry, we can't grant you this request. It's against the policy to change seats, and it wouldn't be fair to other passengers because you can change your seat whenever you want. So it wouldn't be fair to other passengers who might also want to change their seats. Again, she says that changing seats won't be possible because it wouldn't be fair to other passengers. It's also against the policy of the airline. How does the passenger end up getting what he wants? So at the end, we know that he gets what he wants, and he said, awesome. How did that happen? How, at the end of the story, did the passenger ending up getting what he wants? Yes, the passenger was in the wrong seat. From the beginning, he was at the wrong seat to begin with. He moves to his assigned seat, which is the one he wanted. So, by mistake, he went to the wrong seat. He ended up with the right seat by mistake. So again, the passenger was in the wrong seat to begin with. He moves to his assigned seat, which is the one that he actually wanted. So let's jump to the your turn part here. Role play with a partner. Imagine you are at a shopping mall. Make a special request of the sales clerk or assistant. use phrases from making and declining special requests. So this is the box here from where you can make or decline a special request. Whether you want to ask, make a special request, or you decline a request. So I wonder if it would be possible. This is making a request. Do you think it would be possible? This is also making a request. Unfortunately, that's not possible. This is declining a request. I wish it were possible, but etc. This is also declining a request. That won't be possible. I'm afraid we can't. This is declining also. We can't do it because the problem is all of these are declining requests. Using phrases like these makes the request sound more polite. Sounds more polite. So most of them are formal language requests. Using these would make your request more polite. When you want to decline a request, you don't say no. You say, I'm afraid we can't do that. I wish it were possible, but we can't do that. Sorry. So these making and declining requests are more polite. So can you find examples of the phrases in the conversation? Let's see the conversation. This is the first part of the conversation. Can you see some of them here? Let's take just one or two. Yes, here. Passenger, no, but I wonder if I can ask you a question. I wonder if I can ask you a question. Here's trying to make a request. Also here, I was wondering if it would be possible. I was wondering if it would be possible. Then you state your request. His request was to change seats. I wonder if it would be possible to change seats. Also here, the attendant said, unfortunately, that won't be possible. So she's politely declining the request. Also here, please try to understand the problem is. Then you say why you declined the problem, the request. Please try to understand the problem is, etc. And with that, we end our lesson. Thank you for listening so much. See you next session, inshallah. Subhanakallahumma bihamdik. Ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Assalamu alaikum.